What's going on? How are you today? The more I do these, the more excited I get over them. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, which is leadership, and really how leadership has to do with everything from growing a business to, hold on, let me shut this off. I forgot my kids are like burning up the Wi Fi. Hopefully, it doesn't shut me off. Good, it did. I had a hardwire. I forgot to turn on my hardwire. Um, and how it's so important in not only our personal development, but our business development, our relationships in every single part. It's one of my favorite topics. And I'm going to make a specific application today. Um, Leadership is something that is a journey, right? We don't ever arrive. It's not like overnight we're there. It's a journey. And just like in leadership, you don't arrive overnight or you're not just all of a sudden magically there. So it is with your business. So it is with your personal life. And if you didn't come out the womb a leader and you didn't grow up and just automatically were a leader, why would you expect that anything else in your life worked that way either, right? Because it doesn't. It takes time to develop in business. It takes time to develop in family and relationships. It takes time to develop in leadership. So there's a couple of different levels here, and I'm taking this straight out of John Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Principles of Leadership or Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And the first level that we really need to understand is that we don't know what we don't know, right? This is so important for us to come to a place when working with people that we understand that sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. And it's the inability to do that that makes things so difficult. Um, and if you understand you don't know what you don't know, then it's easy to be coachable because you don't know. It's when you think you know that you're not coachable. The next one is that you know what you need to know, right? You're looking at things and you know you need to understand it. You know you need to know it and learn it, right? Um, I have a friend of mine who is a recent friend, and one of the things that he talks about often is that he knew he had to get better at this particular skill set. He knew it. He knew that he needed it to be developed, right? And I think that many people find themselves in a position of leadership um, where they realize all of a sudden that they don't have the skill sets that they need, and they know they need them. The next one is that I know what I know. Okay, um, this is really important. Um, you know what you know. There are many times when I'm doing stuff and I know it, and I try to stay there, right? I mean, I'm always trying to grow. I'm always trying to get better, but man, there's nothing better than being in your sweet spot and in your lane of knowledge and abilities, right? Because you're going to get high performance there because you know what you know. Um, and then, it's really in that place where growth can really start because as you really get good at that one particular area, let's say, um, then from there you can grow into your other realms, right? And when we know, then we can really start to grow and get better. Um, and it's as we begin to understand this process of leadership, of moving from, don't take offense, because I'm not meaning it in a negative way, but from a position of ignorance, complete ignorance, being that we don't know what we don't know, moving into a position of um, oh, I forget what the word would be, but moving into a position where we know we need to know something or that we know we don't know it, right? And then moving into an area where we know what we know. And then the last phase really of this growth cycle for us is that we move from the spectrum of we don't know what we don't know, and it finishes out over the course of our growth. And do I do what I do because I know, right? So as we begin to know things, it should cause us to go, to grow, to begin to perform, to begin to change our life, to begin to enact on the knowledge that we've received. And this is so important that we don't just learn to learn. That knowledge in and of itself doesn't become the goal. The goal should be that we learn so that we can go, that we can do, that we can move into the next thing that we have in our lives. And I'm going to wrap up here, but I just want to ask you, do you know where you're at in the leadership process? Do you know where you're at in your business life? Right? Are you in the I don't know what I don't know? I know what I need to know, right? The stuff that you need to learn about. Or are you in a position where you know what you know? Or are you in a growth cycle now where you're moving forward? Where are you in this process in your business? How about in your marriage? How about in your child rearing? There's so many things that imagine back to when you had your first kid, right? You didn't know what you didn't know. Kid falls off something and you're like flipping out and do we feed them this? Do we not feed them this? Do we give them milk? Do we give them formula? You don't know what you don't know, right? By the time the third one comes around, you're pretty confident in what you know. Um, and I think that a lot of areas in our lives can be very similar to this. So I want to ask you, where are you at in the leadership process? And I want to challenge you that as you watch this, to just put in, where are you at? And I'm going to copy and paste this and put it in the chat, the various levels of it. But where are you? And what is one thing you can do this week to help step up your game in whichever area you're in? And we'll see you tomorrow. I hope you're enjoying these little short daily motivational kind of leadership development stuff. And if you're not paying attention, this background in Yosemite is absolutely amazing. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.